All right, guys. Hey, this is Andy McKee, and I am here with Brandon Phillips, BP. And we're finally kicking this thing off. All the legal stuff was done. Who knew trying to help people that have home gyms, it was going to be this tough to get it going? If it was just me and Brandon, it would have been done like a month ago. But man, lawyers and insurance and all that, even though you're working out in your home, apparently we have to cover all that stuff. It's crazy. So, Brandon, man, thank you for jumping in here and helping solve this problem. We've got people that, I mean, you've been doing this forever. Look behind you. People have a home gym and still have a gym. And what do? They fall off, right?
Yeah, I'll probably only get to work out in my gym once or twice a week now. So this is where most of the work gets done.
That's exactly right. So I tell people all the time, I've got most of the broken stuff from our gym is in my basement or garage. And if I have to do a thing, I do it right there. If I miss a class, I'm like, dang it, I hate going to the gym to work out by myself. So I'll just do something here. But I've got all this stuff as well. So the question came up. It was, hey, Andy, what about all those people that built their gyms either over that 2 week shutdown or other times, and now they don't do anything? Or it's not that they just don't do it, but they're missing the community and the aspect of it. So that's where we come in. So how long have you been actually programming with the idea and the intent to make people harder to kill?
Actually, I started programming way back in 2000. I've been doing strength conditioning since 2004 or five, since I graduated from college. I had my Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science and then went straight like in the strength conditioning world. And I did that for a really long time. And then I found CrossFit through that. So essentially, I guess now it's been 20 plus, almost 20 years of programming.
Dang, I commend you on that. It is tough to have a well thought out approach to what we're doing. And the thing that I have found whenever I try to do programming is nobody agrees. I'm like, I know, but trust the process, right?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is like everybody's got their thoughts, their ideas on what a strength conditioning program should be or a CrossFit programming should be. Any type of programming, everybody has their idea of what it should be. But I've broken it down like pretty simple. You lift heavy, you breathe heavy, and develop skills. Outside of that, like if you're doing that, you're going to be harder to kill. If you're doing that, you're going to get really fit. If you're doing that, it's going to help you be happy and healthy for a longer lifespan. And all of that stuff is relative when you break it down to the individual. So you have an older individual lifting heavy is just a barbell or maybe a kettlebell or some super light dumbbells, even body weight stuff, just standing up and down of a chair. Or if you go down to the 18, 20-year-olds, lifting heavy obviously looks different for them. And then the same thing goes for breathing heavy, same thing goes for developing skills. We're all on a different on the spectrum in different areas. And so how do you bring all that stuff together? And you just create a very simple, comprehensive strength conditioning program. And that includes, I always tell people you got to do a horizontal pull, horizontal push, vertical
Right.
pull, vertical push. You got to be able to squat and you got to be able to hinge at the hips and you got to be able to do lunges. If you do those 6, 7 things on a daily basis, then add in some rowing, running, biking, whatever on the
Variance,
outside,
yeah.
you're gonna get fit. It's
Yeah,
pretty
no,
simple.
that's true. So, and I want to, so yeah, y'all can see by the lack of all this white in my hair. Since we started this back in, I mean, Brandon probably got in before us, but it's like the late 2000s. I have aged 20 years doing this stuff. I don't have a doctor. I don't take any drugs. I can do almost everything that is required in the gym. There are some things I shy away from just because I'm like, I don't really need to do that anymore. Like ring, handstand, push-ups. Nah, don't do those. But
Only time I ever practiced those was at the games,
yeah,
anyways.
right. And so yeah, I'm glad they kind of got rid of that stuff. But it is true. If you want to be harder to kill, you do the things that you're talking about. The thing that we really want to engage with people is, yeah, you can just get a program and you can buy programming and you can just pay for programming and follow the program. But here's the thing that most of us don't do. We don't follow the programming. In our gym, I've been telling people the number one thing is show up. Weirdly, when people have kids, I tell them the number one thing you should do as a parent is show up, right? I mean, it's almost that statement, the number one rule for everything is show up and be present. So what we're going to try to do with this well thought out programming, there's multiple options. We're going to go through that in a second, is help hype you guys into a community and wanting to do this stuff again. Because it is not really all that fun to do this stuff on your own. To be able to see somebody else's scores or to suffer together, weirdly, maybe that's the thing about CrossFit or strength and conditioning, all this getting fitter is we just want someone to suffer with us. I don't know. But that's what we're going to aim to do is bring the a well thought out options, and you get Brandon and I and a couple others, and we're going to make this interesting for you so that you get back into the routine so that you can live a great life now as well as when you're 90.
Right.
Let me share this screen. We're going to talk about what's going on. I am newbie on, let's see, share. Come on. There it is. Share screen. All right. So I think this will share us and make you and me small. And everyone should be able to see this Wodify board. Yeah. Can you see it?
I see it.
All right. Perfect. As long as you see it. I signed myself into a class, and we're just mocking things up right now. But if you have the app, this is all driven off the app. So not if, when you get in here, you have to have the app. Make sure if you've used Wodify before that you're actually logging into our Wodify board and not your old one. You should be locked out of that if you're not in a gym anymore. So we've paid Wodify for access, so we're going to track everything, or you're going to track everything, and we'll have it in here for them, right? So when you log into this, the first thing you need to do is actually pick the correct date. So you'll see it on the app. It's going to look different. I'm just on web, obviously. So you choose the right date. Then you get to choose some programs. So tell me about Build. Let me click on that. What's Build about?
So Build is a 3-day-a-week strength conditioning program. Focused just on strength training. I've always been a big proponent of just 3 days a week of strength training. Back in the day when we competed, that's a little bit different, but for just the average person, 3 days a week of strength training, whole body strength training will give you adequate results. And so what we do is we focus on the things that I mentioned prior to, usually starting off with some type of Olympic lift for those that want to do Olympic lifting. Now, I know personally in my gym, we have some of our older clients, they don't do as much Olympic lifting, or they don't do squat cleans or squat snatches. So everything's power for them, just because it allows them to be in a little bit better positions and last a little bit longer. But as you can tell from right here, we're starting off with some back squats, and we're doing a lot of things at training maxes. So we don't really work our 1 rep max all the time. I've always found that well with CrossFitters, just because we spend so much time and effort in doing the conditioning portions that we kind of get fatigued when it goes to being able to do like real percentage work. So we always use our training max for a lot of things. So that's back squats, 1-1 X1 tempo. That means you're going down for 1 second, pause for 1 second at the bottom, fast up to the top, and then pause 1 second at the top, and then right back down for your next reps. And that's using your training max. So if you have a 200-pound back squat, use 180 pounds to find your working percentages.
Right. Let me ask you this. So if I'm a new guy in this Garage Fitness Online, I got my garage, we're programming online, and we're going to have fun together with this fitness, and I want to focus on, hey, I'd like to get a little bit stronger. You're saying this Build right here is
this right here would be the program to go to.
Okay, perfect. Now let me go to this next one.
Give your body 8 hours of rest before the next program. Or for people that just have like a really weird schedule, maybe you do it like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Like however you got to break it up, you just break it up.
Cool. I think the next one I want to cover is something that near and dear to my heart. I do these 12-hour adventure races, and all I do is CrossFit, but it probably would behoove me to do a little bit more. So we got endurance. And so weirdly, the program called Endurance is focused on what?
Endurance.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I know personally, I've always been a big guy, but I've always been a fan of endurance work. I've been doing that my entire career, I guess you could say, in the CrossFit space. Even to this day, we still do spend quite an amount of time on endurance. Now, it's funny that you mentioned the dog squat. It's funny that you mentioned, doing those big ultras. Like I myself have done ultras, and all we do is maybe 2 or 3 of these a week for running. I know for my last 50K I only did 1 day a week of running, and the rest was strength training and CrossFit. And that still allowed me to go out. Hey, hush. Still allowed me to go out.
Hey, this is real life. Children and dogs all over the place.
Got my dogs over here.
Yeah, no, that's good. Hey guys, work out with your dog. Just don't drop the weight on your dog.
Yeah. Well, they've learned how to get out of the way after doing that. But I was able to do a 50K just by doing 1 day a week of running, then CrossFit on top of that. And it allowed, and I was still able to do it, 7.5 hours, which is pretty good for a big guy getting through the mountain.
When we do these adventure races, there's always other CrossFitters. And I always warn them, I'm like, hey man, you're probably not going to take enough electrolytes. Here's some extra. They're like, really? I'm like, you got too much muscle. You need to like really. So yes, so for 20 years, this was all I did was just the custom varied functional movements executed at high intensity sometimes. And yet we go out for these 12 or 24-hour races. Okay, so the next one I got is performance. So tell me about that one.
So performance
What
is
would
kind of
this
like
one be helping me with?
yeah, performance is kind of like a culmination of everything. So you're going to have some of our strength training days, which is mainly like 1 to 2 sessions a week that we started doing. I've actually started practicing this in our gym with our clients, and we have a majority of our clients are 26 to 43 years old. And we're not as young as we used to be. We're not able to do Metcons every day. So ever since this summer, I started playing around with doing 1 to 2 days a week of just strength training. And we've seen a lot of positive results with that. One, when it comes to recovery, and two, when it comes to building muscle mass. And so we started doing this as our performance is putting in 1 to 2 days a week of strength training. Then also you're going to get at least 1 day a week of some endurance. And then we're going to get 2 to 3 of those Metcons during the week, either coupled with some Olympic lifting or some other skill work to get you better. So
No,
it's
that
just
makes a lot of sense.
so it's just a big melting pot of all of our programs into one.
All right, last one in weirdly titled competitor. So what's that about?
So the competitors is those people that want that little bit of extra edge. And if you ever go to any type of fitness competitions, especially local to the open, you're going to find a majority of those are 15 minutes or less in workout times because we keep the
Right.
intensity super high, and plus it allows for getting more people in for more events. So the competitor program is developed just for that. So say if you wanted to do the performance or the bound build or something like that, and the competitor on top of it. So you do your build work first, all your strength condition, all your strength work, and then you would add in some competitors work. And you'll find the majority of them are very short, 5 minute
Yeah.
to 12 minutes in time frame, but the intensity is super high.
Right.
And then this is where we'll also add in a little bit more skill work. So just like you're a big proponent of not doing certain movements in classes, I'm a big proponent of that now. As I've gotten older, there's some movements that I know do not transfer and create fitness as much as we thought it would in
Right.
competitors. I myself, I don't compete that much anymore, and I've noticed I might feel better if I don't do certain things. But this is where we'll add those in. If you want to be a competitor, there's certain things that you got to be exposed to.
Right.
So that's where you'll see a lot of this. A lot of those movements, just like handstand push-ups, handstand walks, sandbag stuff, just those crazy movements that we don't get to do a lot in classes
Right.
or performance. People don't have equipment to be able to do in their garages or the basements. This is where you'll see that, so people get that extra edge.
Very cool. So my hope is not hope. The plan. Hope is a bad strategy. My plan is to reconnect. Well, I'm still friends with Shane, Eric, and Wes. They still own the Garage Games, and I'd like for there to be an event through the Garage Games that we can bring our people into. And you just, I mean, it's the same sort of stuff. You're going to sign up online. You're going to do it at home and all that. Or maybe even come up with a way where, like, Brendan and I actually don't live that far from each other. Maybe on Mondays, I go to his place and we work out in his basement, right? So maybe there's a way to find people to bring you together, and you could do these competes together, or just work out together. But so this is for sure for programming for you to be healthier and harder to kill and to hit your goals that you want, but also to fill that void that many of us find is missing when we go off and do it on our own. We're on our own and nobody gives a crap. And so we're going to help bring that crap, we will help bring the give a crap back to you. So guys, be watching for what's going on. We legitimately just launched it yesterday because the lawyers wouldn't let us do it sooner. Emails are going out. We're doing it slow trickle because I love the idea of launching the minimal viable product. Right now it's up and going, but I just realized when we sent out a bunch of emails and people replied, it went all to me. And I'm like, oh, damn, I'm trying to answer emails quick. So bear with me. But the stuff is in there. Send an email or get on the Facebook group. We're using Facebook right now because they allow for the largest groups we can find. I know not everybody's on Facebook anymore, but we're using that for now. Again, minimal viable product. And I can't wait to see how you guys help us edit this in a year from now. What will this look like? I have no idea. It's going to be awesome. Cool, Brandon, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for jumping in with this. Thank you for helping everybody out there. Any last words?
No, just jump on board, get fit, stay consistent, and hopefully we'll see all your names on the leaderboard here soon.
Yeah, very cool. All right, guys. See you soon. Take care.